But joining us now for the first time here on the show is Reverend Johnnie Moore. He's the executive chairman of the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. And Reverend, welcome to the show. We're glad you're here.
Thanks, Guy. Good to be with you.
All right, so if you could just describe for our audience the work that your organization is doing in Gaza. What are you trying to achieve? What have you achieved thus far?
Well, it's actually really simple. I mean, we're trying to feed the people of Gaza, and we're trying to do it in a way that Hamas, of course, a designated terrorist organization in the United States and Europe, cannot steal the food. And so while I'm talking to you now, just today we surpassed 89 million meals of food that have been distributed to hungry people in Gaza. Not a single truck stolen by Hamas, not a single successful effort by Hamas to derail our efforts. Every single day we show up to feed people. And unfortunately, we look to our right and we look to our left and we don't see the United Nations doing their job, and so we're doing it for them.
89 million meals and counting so far, under the auspices of what? Is this the U.S. government? Is this the Israeli government, a joint partnership? Where's the money coming from?
Yeah, this is a U.S. government, U.S. government supported, U.S. government endorsed initiative that also the government of Israel isn't fearful of, because the fact is that for many years, virtually every truck of aid that went into the Gaza Strip was immediately taken over by Hamas. Sometimes it would be because they centralized the warehousing. Hamas would tax the aid when it came in. They would sell the aid. Over the course of this war, Hamas, we believe, has made over $1 billion monetizing the free aid that has been given to the Gaza Strip by the United Nations. So this is a problem that everyone has acknowledged for many years. No one has tried to solve it. The Gaza Humanitarian Foundation decided to solve that problem, to make sure that we could feed the people of Gaza without prolonging the war and letting Hamas use the food to make money, to further oppress and repress the people of Gaza.
So,
and by the way, we don't exist to replace any of the international system. We want to complement it. We want to work together with them. But unfortunately, the UN is boycotting the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation.
That's amazing.
They've never boycotted Hamas, by the way.
Yeah, no, it is so revealing what's happening, because it makes sense. It's horrible. I know we talked about it here on the show. Hamas attacked some of your workers and murdered several of them not long ago. I understand why Hamas sees the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation as a threat, because you are bypassing them and their predations and their corruption in order to feed hungry people in Gaza. And so they've made threats. They've threatened people not to participate with you. They've threatened you guys directly. They've killed some of your people. This is what Hamas is. It's who they are. They are evil terrorists. What has been maybe a little bit more surprising and certainly more disappointing is these slings and arrows you guys are getting from the international community and a lot of journalists. It seems like every other day there's some story that I see in social media or in some international news organization saying, oh, Israelis shot and killed a bunch of Palestinians waiting for food via the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, and then like a day later the whole thing is completely debunked. But every day they're basically arguing that while you guys are just trying to distribute free food to hungry people in Gaza, you're actually doing a lot of harm and putting people in harm's way, and the Israelis are just massacring people who are coming to eat this food. It's a nonstop parade of what I have deemed to be misinformation. Is that correct? Or are these just slanders every single day that you guys are dealing with on top of the work you're trying to do?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, we spend an enormous amount of energy just like competing with these lies. I mean, the United Nations itself lies every single day, but it's more than that. It's actually that the UN, like a lot of agencies in the UN, most of them, a lot of people in the press, a lot of people who represent these sort of blue chip humanitarian organizations, they have basically become the press secretaries for Hamas. And every single day, because Hamas views what we're doing as a threat to their control of the Gaza Strip, again, that's not our mission. Our mission is just to feed people. But Hamas is so threatened by losing control of the food that they're doing everything possible to shut us down. I mean, they've even made it a condition of the ceasefire negotiations. But this isn't just an opinion. I mean, there's an institute at Rutgers University that studied it, and they released a report last week. Actually, the report broke on Fox News, and it analyzed the 50 most consumed news stories about the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. Of those 50, or so it's like 52 or 54 stories, of those stories, 100% of them accused either the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation or Israel of wrongdoing. They never once accused Hamas of doing anything wrong. 80% of those stories included information that came from Hamas directly, and only 50% of the time did these news outlets even disclose the information came from Hamas. And so we literally have terrorist propaganda that's being shared by the media, shared by the United Nations, and the people that are suffering for it are the people of Gaza who need food. And so in service, allegedly, to these hungry people, actually this whole corrupt international system is actually just aiding and abetting their oppressors.
By the way, just to be perfectly clear, because you get these reports somewhat regularly of massacres, and they always blame it on the Israelis, even though the Israelis don't do this. But you're involved in this. This is your whole mission. Just to put a finer point on it, can you tell us for sure that the allegations that Palestinians show up, hungry Palestinians show up for this food that you're distributing, that in your experience and under your information, the Israelis have never shown up to these distribution sites and just massacred civilians? Is that a completely made up thing?
This is a made up lie. It's a lie. There have been people that have been killed in the Gaza Strip over the course of our operation, some of them seeking aid, most of them seeking aid at UN distribution sites. And by the way, the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces, they have admitted that they have made some mistakes, and they've done investigations, and they say if someone a civilian is killed. It happened a handful of times over this incredibly active, dangerous war in one of the most condensed places on earth. I mean, we're operating in an active war zone. There is no ceasefire. But what no one ever reports is the fact that Hamas has intentionally murdered hundreds and hundreds of people trying to seek aid in order to accuse the IDF or to create the story about GHF. And in actuality, there have only been 2 incidents of violence at any GHS site whatsoever. The first one took place when Hamas threw 2 grenades at our American veterans. And thank God, the 2 people
it's Hamas. It's Hamas doing the violence because it's what they do. Reverend, thank you for your work. We're following this on The Guy Benson Show.